welcome. We are here, Sensei Chat 78 or 79. It is a lot. Today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin. This some speaker news just came out, actually. I know a lot of people are hoping. Tom Emmer. All right. Welcome. Let me figure out where we are here, from. Sensei Chat 7. All right, there we go. Perfect. All right, so we are here. Good to see everybody. MMT is in the house. Zelfernite, great to see you. Green Llama, great to see you. Let's keep it real. I love to see you, man. What's good to see you. Ariana, Crypto Lax, Showfinger, I love everybody is here. Okay, cool. So there's so much to talk about, and I want to get into. Let me just get my chat up here so I can respond to you guys live. I was juggling tasks at the same time. All right, let me close this real quick, and just give me 1 second, and we'll get going here. There's so much to talk about. But Tom Emmer was actually looking to become speaker, and he just got denied pretty hard. He dropped out of the race. I just saw the news broadcast, actually. It just came up. So Tom Emmer will not be the speaker, not even going to get a vote. So crypto dreams are crushed here in America. That's how quickly it can happen. But we are still left without a speaker in the United States, so a lot of things are not getting done, especially crypto reforms. I don't even think crypto's on the top list right now in the United States, unfortunately, but this is what we're dealing with right now in Congress. We have two sides that just won't get along. So let's keep it going. Morgan Stanley believes crypto winter is over. Bitcoin halving will kick off the next bull run. This has actually been a topic of conversation around the crypto space, right? You have the ETFs that are waiting to be approved, that are sitting on the sidelines, right? You have your BlackRock, your Invesco, JP Morgan, you have Grayscale. All of these entities are wanting to launch ETFs and have applications. And so, with the Bitcoin halving, with those ETFs coming, it does feel like 2024 could be a really great year for crypto. We've seen in the current market, let me just kind of pull this up here. Bitcoin blasted Bitcoin blasted past, what was it, 35K, and it's just kind of come back down and settling about 33.6. But we had some, a lot of movement here yesterday, kind of reaching just under 35,000, and we had some little peaks here, and we've kind of come back down. So it's kind of exciting, right? Link was pumping. We talked about Chainlink actually like 2 Sensei chats ago, and so there were some good updates that we went over in that Sensei chat. If you got into Link at that time, you made some decent money over the week. And a lot of other tokens that we are in have been pumping. We got some XRP news, of course. By November 9, 2023, the party shall jointly damn, I can't speak. I just had some dental work done yesterday, and so I am slurring more than I should. I have this temporary on 2 of my teeth. My dentist is like, hey, your old dentist didn't do your crowns properly, so let's go redo them. It was a painful 3 hours. It was not good yesterday. But if I slur more than I should be, sorry. The parties cannot agree on a schedule. Judge Torres will set the schedule. So it does look like we are moving towards a situation here where we're going to get this case hopefully resolved and behind us. It could even be in 2023, which would be even better news. But down here it says, granted by November 9, 2023, the parties shall jointly propose a briefing schedule with regard to remedies. Or if the parties cannot agree, shall jointly request that the court set briefing schedule the April 16th, 2023 final pretrial conference. So it looks like if they can't agree on what the settlement is by November 9th, then it might get kicked to April 16th. I know there's a lot of people that are hoping that this does finally get resolved and we can put this all behind us. I know we talk a lot about XRP, especially in the Cryptonairz Discord and here on my YouTube channel. So we'll see how this all kind of turns out, but we're getting closer, I feel like, and that's a good thing. And then here you go. This was actually last week, James K. Filan posted this, but this is about last week. It's basically stipulated and agreed upon that they're going to be entering into settlement agreement, which is really nice. I didn't get on Friday, guys. I do apologize. I know a lot of you have reached out asking about Luna. Luna had some seizures on Thursday. I had to rush her to the ER vet. And Thursday and Friday were real hard days for me. So I kind of kicked Sensei Chat to here Tuesday. She's doing a lot better. We have her on some seizure medicine. It was kind of rough because we had Wednesday was the meeting with a good surgeon. She's actually the second best surgeon in Hawaii. And she sent us 5 different proposals on fixing one leg or fixing both legs. And it's just been a lot to deal with over the last couple of days. So I appreciate all of your support. And thank you for all the kind comments that you sent to me on Twitter and in Cryptonairz Discord. It touches my soul. So thank you very much. All right. I thought this was great. This is really cool, right? So if you haven't seen this, once regulation like MiCA comes into play, we can tap into $330 trillion. MiCA implementation debt set for Q4 2024, right? So this is like, imagine this, right? You have the spot Bitcoin ETFs, you have the Bitcoin halving, right? And so if you look back at the charts, when every Bitcoin halves, you do kind of get a rally with Bitcoin. So you have all of this momentum building into MiCA. All right, or MiCA, depending how you want to call it. But that is going to be a wave that could take us into an incredible bull run. I mean, in 2021, based on speculation, we were able to get to almost $3 trillion. Imagine what's going to happen when you actually have regulation in some of these parts of the world that are going to be using some of these assets to not only settle but create value on, right? So like stocks, bonds, derivatives, right? When that gets tokenized, debt, IOUs, right? Well, IOUs is another form of debt, but as that stuff gets tokenized and added to certain blockchains, think about what that value is going to do for the overall ecosystem, right? I just listened to this clip. This clip is gold. I wanted to make a video about this, but I've been really busy trying to film this course that I'm doing. But let me play this. This is great.
Yeah, maybe Maurice, we are very positive, although we talk with institutional clients, we are very positive. And from once, here in Europe, we have MiCA, the new regulatory environment that is coming, and this is very powerful. From once, Europe is more advanced than the US. And this is very important.
That's
we are
spicy.
going to have custody regulation. We are going to have marketplace regulation. We are going to have infrastructure regulation. This is huge, and we should take advantage. We should not avoid going to the regulator and say, look, I'm building this. What do you think? We know already what they are thinking. So let's go there and try to build things that are compliance, and we can tap into this $330 trillion. Last year was consolidation. We did many good things, but we didn't attract a lot of capital. Yeah.
For once, Europe will be technological advanced than the United States. I love that saying. JP, can you tell me a little bit more? Yeah, break that down. I read that. You just deleted it or message retracted, but what were you talking about? Yeah, this was a very bullish statement right here, guys. And that brought music to my ears. I loved it. Does this put pressure on the United States to get their act together? Can the U.S. get their act together? This is like bone. This sent chills up my spine when I first heard it. This is really incredible. I love to see it. Ethereum fees spike as more meme coin frenzy returns. Pepe, Bitcoin, SPX pops 40%. Great. A market-wide recovery led by Bitcoin briefly crossing 35,000 on Tuesday may have re-envisioned a risk on sentiment among meme coin traders who typically bet on tokens with strong social draw rather than inherent technology. Ethereum gas fees spiked 9 gwei over 45 gwei in the same period. Does anyone remember like old school Ethereum gas fees where they used to be like $100 to make like a $10 transfer? The 45 gwei isn't bad compared to the hundreds it used to be, but I mean, is Ethereum always going to kind of be this place where just meme coins go to I don't want to say flourish because a lot of meme coins go to die, but I feel like there should be something else there. And I know a lot of stuff gets built out on Ethereum, but it's kind of known for the meme coins, right? So I don't know. We'll have to see how it turns out with Ethereum. But hey, gas fees at 45, it's still cheap compared to what it used to be. All right, AMMs have been kind of a hurdle. I just did a video and it's going to come out, so I don't want to go into too much about AMMs today. We're at 6 yays. We're at the rest. So nays don't mean these people have voted or these validators have voted. No, it means that anytime somebody doesn't vote for anything, it automatically goes to no in the smart contract. Okay, so it goes under nay. So you do have like BitTrue was one of the ones that just kind of came over. I've been kind of tracking this. It was 4, then it was 5, now it's 6. You need 28 out of the 35 votes in 2 weeks of straight consensus over 80% for this actually to get passed. There was some things that were brought up. And the reason that a lot of these maybe validators have not voted yay is because if AMMs get put into place on the XRP ledger, there are 206 nodes that are not updated. And if AMMs come in, those nodes would go offline. So I think this is more than just, hey, or AMMs, why aren't people voting for AMMs? There's a lot more to it. There was also a critical issue back, I think, in July 17th. July 11th was the CertiK audit 2023 with no major critical issues, nothing. And then on July 17th, there was a critical issue. So my video about AMMs, I also played some clips from David Schwartz. That should be coming out today. If not, I'll have to wring Cass's neck. But should be coming out today. Watch that video. I give a great update and I get into all of this stuff. You guys are going to love that video. All right. And then if you want to just take a look at this, you can actually go to vet_XO. This was on the 20th. Great space. I listened to the whole thing. A lot of really good information, and I get into a lot of it in that video. All right. The DTCC DLT-based upgrade to schedule to go live in 2023. The DTCC is the Depository Trust Clearing Corporation. Right, they're the ones who clear $2.5 quadrillion a year in securities clearing. They have been upgrading their systems for years. It was a 6-year project. Project Ion, if you want to Google it, Project Ion. They're working with R3, and this is going to move all of those securities clearing to a digital settlement. So what will be used? Stellar? Will it be XRP? Will it be both? Will it be XDC? I think there's going to be a lot to choose from there, and so I think you're going to get some of this value on maybe each of those, or one's going to just reign supreme. We're going to have to see how that works, but everything's scheduled to go live later this year, so we'll have to see actually how much of it starts being used digitally and using maybe crypto for instant settlement. All right, and then DTC. So this is the DTCC.com website, Depository Trust Clearing Company. DTC will convert its ISO corporate action messaging to Swift SR 2023 version on November 19th. Okay. So this should be a Sunday. And so November 20th is kind of the day where all this is supposed to kick off. DTC, or I don't know why it does. DTC will be converting its ISO corporate action messaging Swift SR version. Here you go, is being done as part of the annual standard maintenance process. Client testing will begin on September 11th. So this has already been working, right? So clients have been able to go in there and test this network and see how to use it, which is great because you don't want people on day one trying to use it and not knowing what they're doing. But this is good to see, right? We're moving towards this digital future. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at. And a lot of people make connections with Ripple and the DTCC. I've made some of those connections myself. I've done a whole video on this that was like 20 or 30 minutes long. If you want to go ahead and take a look at that in my library, please do so. You also have DTCC plus Securacy plus Ripple to facilitate legally compliant securities offerings in the United States and globally. Securacy. I know there's some stellar connections to Securacy too. So, we really don't know. Yeah, here you go. Securities protocol will be utilized on the Ethereum, Stellar, Ripple, EOS, and other distributed ledgers. So I don't know if one chain or another is going to get the lion's share or if it's going to be spread out. I mean, I hope it's, it's a hard thing to say, right? I hope it's spread out, okay? Because it feels like when XRP moves, Stellar moves. So, maybe it all goes to XRP and Stellar still moves with it. But it would be nice to see some of these cryptocurrencies that we've really put our heart and souls into actually going to a new all-time highs where we can all kind of start celebrating and popping champagne bottles. Now, it might not be in 2023. Could be again in 2024, 2025, but it does feel like we have this momentum building in the space, and it's a really great time to kind of get back into crypto if you've been away for some time. All right, let's keep it going. how XRP is sourced between counterparties through exchanges to facilitate SWIFT and SWIFT transactions. We've talked about this a lot on the channel. GateHub and XRPL Labs, the makers of XM Wallet. XM Wallet is a wallet that I use. I highly recommend it. It is open source code. That means it's been battle tested. Something like Ledger is closed source. So between when something is open source, other people can go in and try to, they run different simulations where they hackathons and people try to get into certain systems. I feel like XM has really great security. They've been battle tested for the last 5 years, but the two most active companies on the XRP Ledger have teamed up to bring more assets to the XRP Ledger, enabling seamless value transfer between XRPL and other supported networks such as SEPA, SWIFT, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. All right, so this is pretty cool information to have. Let's keep it going. JP, your Islamic coin video caused Vara post on all platforms and CoinMarketCap. I don't know if it was just mine, but man, thank you for all that, for updating me on that. That was pretty cool. Pull up Islamic coin on CoinMarket. Let's do it. I mean, if you haven't had a chance to watch that interview, guys, it is actually one of my better interviews that I've done. I sat down with the CEO. There you go. Yeah, that wasn't here before, right? Listen, every crypto project has some sort of challenges or setbacks. I address certain questions in that interview about why they didn't apply for a license with Vara. And I'll leave it to the CEO, the CLO, and the CTO to kind of talk to you and tell you why their reasons for that were. I have respect for that team. They are working hard to build out this ecosystem, but I did ask questions that no one else was asking, or at least not that we could find. So big shout out to JP for his help and all that. We spent hours on the phone and working on that research. I mean, I can't tell you how many hours of research went into that video. I did talk with Alex, Mohammed, and Andre after the fact. Andre never responded, but I talked to Alex and Mohammed. They both commented on the interview, saying that it was one of the one of the better interviews that they've ever done. And so, I try to, not hold them accountable, but I asked the questions that the community has been wanting to know that nobody else would ask, if that's fair to say. All right, let's keep it going. RippleNet plus ISO code for external clearing systems. This is kind of cool when you start seeing code. CNIPS. Some of these are acronym. These are all acronyms for something, obviously. List of based on ISO internal clearing system identificational code list. RippleNet payment object. HBAR is awesome, and Algorand is going to shock everyone. I agree with you, ATL. I think both are incredible projects. We do talk a lot about those, sometimes in Sensei chats. Kathleen, great to see you, Kathleen. Always a pleasure. We do talk about those projects sometimes on these channels. You're going to see HBAR used for micropayments with FedNow. So that's really great news for that. And there's a lot of amazing stuff being built out on the HBAR ecosystem. Great. Thank you for reminding me, ATL. I appreciate you. And I played this last chat. This is just a demo on Swift empty messages. This system is like from the 90s. I don't know why they can't make this look a little bit better, but the main thing was blockchain products have been added here, right here on this left. And then so here's no date. So also this has been added, Swift CBR plus on activation date. See how there's no date here? You do have a new date. Where is it? Right here. Yeah. So here's the date down here, 11/19/2023. So, hey, it's good to see that in Swift's own messaging platform that the go live date for this is now, the 20th. So maintaining server configurations on the 19th, and this should all go live. So should be interesting, guys. Should be interesting. I don't know if I'd pop the bottles of champagne just yet. I try not to get fixed on dates. It does feel like these dates are more based on Swift instead of like, there's a whole conspiracy side of XRP that you kind of sometimes you get too, like, I had to back off of it a little bit because, you know, all these dates from Mr. Pool or this and that were coming. And I was like, man, I just keep getting let up and let down. But hey, you know, it's kind of fun to do in your spare time if you have the time. All right. There's a couple good channels, like Extra VOD does a lot of those updates. And anyways, if you like that sort of thing, check his channel out. September 2023 report. Eurex Bitcoin Index features US dollar traded contracts rising April 2023 to August 2023. So here you go, FTSE Bitcoin Index. You can see this is July right here, and this is August. So, I mean, you went from having like maybe 65 here now to 350. So this has definitely been increasing. And then Bitcoin Index features in the Euro. You can kind of see here is April, and here is August. So exciting times, guys. Exciting times. Published October 16, 2023, Eurex cryptocurrency derivatives trading futures will be activated October 2023, October 23rd, which is yesterday. Derivatives on cryptocurrencies, tradability, and options on FTSE Bitcoin Index futures. So this went live yesterday. Do you think that maybe what help cause the pump? Some people are saying BlackRock is getting ready, you know, and they're buying Bitcoin for their ETF. You know, this could have added to that as well. We'll have to kind of see how it all kind of plays out. BIS 2023 ISO 20022 data report on cross-border payments cites Ripple and Zinfin as contributors. Here's Ripple. Here's Zinfin. I actually went and checked this out myself, which I always like to. Anytime I see something online, I always try to like to verify it because, man, there's some stuff that gets posted. But here's Ripple. This is actually the BIS.org website. And here's Zinfin. Okay? So it is, in fact, on the page, 100% accurate. Let's keep it going here. EBIX data format upgrade in November. A lot of stuff's happening in November. November 19th is that day. German banking industry, November. Just more stuff that kind of tells you that this is the day that all of these banks are going, right? Which is cool, man. It gives you not peace of mind, but it really kind of solidifies the date, right? Not like, hey, this is not happening on November 27th or next year, but it's November 19th of this year. Financial stability report states this year the global regulatory framework for crypto assets were finalized. Now it's time for global implementation. So here is the FSB Financial Stability Board report promoting global financial stability, which is rock and roll. And then you have the FSB is working to address current and emerging vulnerabilities. A key FSB priority this year has been to finalize the finalization of global regulatory framework for crypto assets, including stablecoins, based on the principle of same activity, same risk, same regulation. The focus now is on the global implementation of these recommendations. So the Financial Stability Board is working with the IOSCO, ISSB, and other regulatory bodies around the world. They're here to kind of really help to set policy for the G20. It is up to the G20 countries individually how they want to roll this out. Now, the reason you want to have pretty much the same regulation across the board is if one country has a lot stricter regulations than another country does, if you're sending crypto from one country to the other, that could be an issue. So that's why they're going to have some kind of base set policy that you're going to see across the board with these countries so that value can flow across borders without running into problems. Okay? So, love to see it. All right, and so this actually happened last week. I wanted to talk to you about this on last Friday, but unfortunately I wasn't able to. Eurosystem proceeds to the next phase of digital euro project. We knew this was coming in October. Here it is. The Governing Council of the European Central Bank decided today to move to the next phase of the digital euro project, the preparation phase. Dun, dun, dun. The decision follows the completion of the investigation phase. The investigation phase was 2 years, guys. It started October 2021 to explore possible design and distribution models for the digital euro based on the findings from this phase detailed in this report right here. Published today, the ECB has designed a digital euro that would be widely acceptable to citizens and businesses through distribution by supervised intermediaries. Now, my question to you is, what technology do you think this central bank digital currency is built on? Now, Christine Lagarde is the head of the ECB. She used to be the head of the IMF. Okay, she's been in the same room with Brad and Chris, and I've shown multiple videos where they're sitting, and like all those board of governors are sitting there. You had the IMF up there, and Brad's sitting up there talking to all these guys. Yeah, I played countless videos. There's several videos. Christine Lagarde mentions Ripple and Circle by name. I don't know if that's what they're going to choose, but it does feel like if Ripple's working with up to 30 plus central banks, that they're going to want to be using the same technology, right? And so it would make sense in my head that they would choose a private ledger to do this on, but I could be totally wrong. I'm just trying to make connections. Maybe there's no connections, but Christine Lagarde definitely knows who Ripple is. The design envisions a digital euro as the digital form of cash that could be used for all digital payments throughout the euro area. It would be widely accessible, free for basic use, and available both online and offline payments. So if you're researching like what technology are they going to use, you need to make sure that whatever technology that is, you can make offline payments, right? That is like a key part of this whole thing. It would rather offer the highest level of privacy and allow users to settle payments instantly in central bank money. It can be used from person to person at the point of sale, in e-commerce, and in government transactions. That is the word. Government transactions, right? When billions and billions of dollars in aid are sent to other countries, imagine if they could send it in digital euros or digital dollars, right? That's the way, this is the way that it's heading, right? People just think it's like person-to-person payments, but they're not really understanding that how much governments spend, right? And that money is going to move the same way that all of this new technology is moving, right? So that's like really what I'm focused on, right? Because when the U.S. spends, $5-6 trillion a year, imagine your tax payments going out digitally, right? You can pay your taxes with crypto now in the United States. You can pay your taxes with crypto, but there's no crypto regulation. Makes total sense to me, right? The tax man can get his money, but you don't really have crypto regulation. All right, cool. The next phase, the digital euro project, the preparation phase, will start on November 1st, 2023. So we're about 8 days, give or take, and will initially last 2 years. All right, understand this, guys. So this is talking about 2025, October 2025. All right, this is like, or November 2025 is when this will be coming out. Now, if something were to happen with the financial system and they needed to speed this up for some reason, they definitely could, but they are working this for the next 2 years. If you watch like Crypto Lulu video, he did a great video on the timeline that he thinks all these CBDCs are going to be coming out. 2025 and 2026 is kind of what he said. I'm kind of paraphrasing him, so go watch his video if you want to get some more information on that. But I think he's right on with this implementation. Understand governments can move up timelines. They have before, but it's not usually how it works in government. They don't really move things up unless something breaks, and then they have to move it up. It would involve finalizing the digital euro rulebook for selecting providers that could develop a digital euro platform and infrastructure. It will also include testing and experimentation to develop a digital euro that meets both euro systems requirements and user needs. For example, in the terms of the user experience, privacy, financial inclusion, and environmental footprint. So, I mean, right there, they obviously are not going to be using Bitcoin to do this. They're probably they're not going to be using Ethereum to do this. I would imagine it's going to be something that, we know and love. All right. The ECB will continue to engage with the public and all the stakeholders during this phase. After 2 years, the Governing Council will decide whether to move to the next stage of preparation. So this is going to take some time, guys. It's going to take some time. I saw some tweets and people saying this is going to happen like early next year. It's not. Not unless something really breaks. Here's Christine Lagarde.
The digital euro is on the move. Yesterday, the Governing Council of the ECB approved the opening of the preparation phase. It will be a journey, and we will walk the journey together with the legislator. All European institutions will be involved to make sure that Europe is equipped with the currency of the future. Cash is here to stay. You will have all options, cash and digital cash. So what does it mean for you? For consumers, it would be free and easy to use everywhere in the euro area. All of that, of course, is subject to the legislative process. Cash or digital, the choice will be yours. Your euro, your choice.
Ooh, spicy. All right, your euro, your choice, until they decide to get rid of dollars, like actual paper money. But that won't happen for quite some time, but it'll happen. Trust me, it'll happen. I hope to live that long where it's actually in museums and I can be like, oh, you have no idea what cash used to be. You know, that'd be kind of fun. Chris Larson put this out. He says, the last 3 years, we've seen a rogue administrative state that needs to be held accountable for its actions, not just an investigation into the conflicts of interest that led to these baseless claims, but how the U.S. actively demolished its global standing as the home for innovation. True. And guys, this has happened under both administrations, unfortunately, right? The last one and this one, not going to get in here and talk politics, but you know, I always see people saying Trump is going to be the savior of crypto. I mean, he had 4 years to get it done. Nothing happened. Just saying. All right. Also, Steven Narioff. This is a ticking time bomb that I'm going to talk to you about here just in a little bit. For Ethereum, it could be real bad. The guy's talking about having thousands of documents against Ethereum that he's going to be releasing. That could be a black swan event. Trust me. We're going to talk about it just in a little bit here. This is Ripple X Medicos webinar on a fantastic discussion between Brad Garlinghouse and Aldarine Tassini, covering a host of topics. It's a minute 30 long place.
I think this is more of a high-level question. I'll give it to you, Brad. What are your thoughts on the Bitcoin's ETF approval and its future role in the monetary system?
So I think it is an interesting one. You know, we've obviously seen a bunch of traditional financial firms file for spot Bitcoin ETFs, and finally, the United States SEC seems to be, after years of kind of dragging their feet, seems to be allowing those to move forward. I'm not sure, you know, the part of the question here is this idea that are they part of the, you know, the future monetary system? I mean, to me, a Bitcoin ETF is simply allowing people who may not know how to custody, buy, manage their crypto themselves to participate in Bitcoin as an asset. You know, it's a little like a gold ETF. You may not want to hold gold in your home, but being able to buy a gold ETF allows you investment exposure to that asset. And so I'm very much pro giving people access to these things in a way that works for them. And so I don't know why that would be bad and why the SEC was blocking that. Whether or not, you know, that has a role in the future monetary system, you know, as much as I'm bullish about Bitcoin and I own Bitcoin, you know, Bitcoin has some significant limitations as it relates to a payments mechanism in terms of fees and speed. And so I'm not sure I see that as a transforming the monetary system.
And Brad's kind of correct here, right? Just because the ETFs are created, it doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be people buying Bitcoin. It does feel like when you listen to somebody like Larry Fink talk, when he talks about, you know, there's 600,000 searches a month for Bitcoin. I mean, it does feel like there's a lot of people that are wanting to actually get information and maybe possibly buy it, but it doesn't actually correlate into buying. So we're just going to have to see how this all turns out. We hope it leads into a ton of institutional buying, or, you know, people with a lot of money, right? If you're holding assets at BlackRock, you know, obviously you have to have a certain amount of money. And I don't think they're, you know, allowing people that, you know, make $100,000 a year to partake, but I could be totally wrong. I've never tried to sign up for an account at BlackRock, but I imagine these are extremely high wealth individuals. And so we'll have to see, right? And it's a good point, right? You know, a lot of these people don't want to have to keep track of their seed phrases, right? Or they, you know, that seed phrases have always kind of been a bane of existence for crypto people. I've seen so many different people lose their seed phrases. I've lost a seed phrase. Good thing it didn't have a whole lot of money in the wallet. I think it only had like $100 or $10, but losing seed phrases is a real thing out here. So anyways, I don't really need to play this. This is Jeremy Hogan talking about bombshell case dismissal. I don't want to really waste any more time talking about this. This happened last week, but let's keep it going. Interesting, right? I'm always trying to keep track of the real estate market in the US because a lot of people's wealth are tied into real estate. And if you have a substantial drop in the real estate market, you have a substantial drop in people's buying ability and their ability to borrow money. Okay, so paying attention to this in your own country might be a good way to kind of get an overall idea of how the economy in your country is going. The U.S. economy, everything is tied into real estate. China, 70% of people's wealth is in real estate, and that market is in flux right now. I put a video in the Cryptonairz Discord talking about the Chinese banking system is 65 trillion US dollars. They have bad debt, 65 trillion US dollars in bad debt. Can you imagine that number? 500 trillion yuan in bad debt. So, that's something to worry about. Anyways, in 2015, the owner purchased the property for 1.4 million, 27% above the asking. 8 years later, the property is now listed for 1.1 million, 22 below what the owner paid for it. That hurts. That hurts to take a $300,000 hit, especially in the Bay Area. This is kind of where I grew up. The homeowner now has negative equity. People don't realize this, but things can actually lose value, and not everything just always goes up. When you buy a car and you drive a car off the car lot, it loses a ton of value. If you've ever tried to trade in a car that you've owned for like 6 months, it's a brand new car, or a year, that is a tough situation. It's a very tough situation, okay? So just keep track of this, guys, because you also have this $1.5 trillion worth of business loans that are coming up over the next 2 years. If rates remain high, which they sounds like they are going to, a lot of these businesses will not be able to roll over that debt. When you can't roll over that debt, you have to lay off employees or you go bankrupt. So something to keep track of, guys. The decline in San Francisco housing prices show what a return supply would mean for the broader U.S. market. Declining housing affordability has been and continues to be supply issues. If layoffs spread beyond tech, we could see similar housing trends across the United States. This is how you get into a recession. Total excess savings are down from 2.3 trillion at their peak to just 200 billion. People are kind of tapped at the low, at the regular people working 9 to 5 jobs. Some people working 2 or 3 jobs just to pay rent. Their stimulus money is tapped out. Okay. The bottom 80% of households currently have zero in excess savings, right? So this is millions and millions of Americans don't have any money in the bank. All right. Just something to keep in mind. This by far is one of the fastest ever declines in excess savings in history. All total credit card debt is past 1 trillion, and total household debt crosses 17 trillion. Yikes. XDC, I mean, if you are not in XDC, I don't know what you're doing in life, but it's a great crypto project. I've been talking about XDC since 2020, in Cryptonairz since 2021. A lot of people have been in XDC for quite some time. If you are not in XDC, I highly suggest you learn something about it quickly. It is by far Ethereum 3.0. Ethereum's move from proof of work to proof of stake was supposed to be Ethereum 2.0. XDC is Ethereum 3.0. You have amazing smart contract functionality with very, very little fees. So it's widely being used, widely being adopted, and there's a lot more developers building on XDC currently than any other network, I would say. A lot of people building on it. Ethereum co-founder Joseph Lubin robbed his earliest employees of value of stock, employees of the value of stock awards that drew them to his blockchain firm. So this is an allegement. This guy's a total D word. I don't want to say it here on YouTube, but this guy is cringe. Joseph Lubin, Ethereum helped write the free pass. He went on stage that night. He badmouthed XRP after them paying basically a bribe to Bill Hinman. This guy is just cringe. All right. So Steven Nerioff, I want to show you this because this is what I worry about with Ethereum. Let me just read this to you because it's important. Excuse me. decentralized justice. So this gentleman actually used to be a part of Ethereum during their ICO days. He's got video, he's got audio tapes of Vitalik, he's got thousands of documents, but this is what I worry about. Check us out. I'm eternally grateful for all the support and the boring sleuth and the incredible sleuthing community, especially XRP Army. Big shout out. They embrace my truth, blah, blah, blah. My fight is against those who've hijacked it, and most crypto is held back by the industry. Discredited, abandoned. Okay, I want to get to the point where let me briefly explain my involvement in Ethereum to highlight why I possess valuable insights. He's talking about documents. I played a pivotal role in Ethereum's development, inventing the utility token structure and then creating a legal way to sell them, which became known as the ICO. I was present and driving the efforts during many critical Ethereum moments, including surrounding concerns about Ethereum's status as a security. And I've participated in many important projects in crypto, including some yet to be announced. Surprisingly, Vitalik himself sought my help in 2015 to save Ethereum from insolvency. So what did they do in 2015? Most of the co-founders, having moved on as Vitalik himself would do the next 2 years in China. So they moved basically Ethereum to China. I provided a full restructuring plan and have documented evidence, including a multi-hour recording call with Vitalik, which should be enlightening for many and part of crypto history. Since 2017, years before the ultimate arrest, a coordinated effort has been made to erase me from Ethereum's history. Thankfully, John Deaton, which we all know from the XRP community, and others have vouched for my credibility. After seeing evidence of the extent of my role and are helping me to unveil the biggest fraud in history while earning back my reputation. This is what you need to pay attention to. With thousands of pieces of evidence and the support of Boring Sleuth and others, we're reaching the same inevitable conclusions, though we come at it from two completely different routes. He is right. We each possess what others doesn't have. He provides the undeniable foundational proof, ledgers, wallet, etc. of my allegations, and I provide context to his breadcrumb trails. And so, like, he is going to be releasing information about Ethereum. Back in the day, he's going to be releasing information on Vitalik, maybe Joseph Lubin, and what happened with their ICO and what happened with their free pass. So does anyone else worry about this? I feel like this could be a problem for the Ethereum ecosystem. And since a lot of stuff is built on Ethereum, I just worry about the overall health of the crypto ecosystem if what he's saying here kind of comes out and is considered true and proven. Could this be a problem for Vitalik, Joseph Lubin, etc.? I'd love to know your thoughts, guys, in the comments. And then, I mean, I do think Joseph Lubin is going to be investigated. I think he is being investigated right now, but I just think the guy's a scumbag. Anyways, Brad Garlinghouse expects $10 trillion to come into XRPL custody digital asset market. Let me just play this for you and catch up on some comments.
The macro environment around custody digital assets is expected to be close to $10 trillion by the year 2030. And inevitably, people are going to need a place to store those assets, and safe, secure, and they're going to need to be able to transfer them as well, having good on and off ramps. Even a tokenization engine, some of the work Ripple is doing around central bank digital currencies or CBDCs. So we think there's a lot of pieces that come together, and we already had, and I remember when you and I first spoke, I remember being on a call with one of the largest top 10 banks in the world, and a bank Ripple was already working with, and they were asking us about, could we help them with their custody? This is prior to the MiCA acquisition, and we weren't in a position to do that. And so when we think about that synergy, the ability to say to that existing Ripple customer, hey, here's a best in class, going head to head, time and time again, and winning on the custody level, to be able to bring that product to them, I think is a great opportunity for the two companies together. So,
All right, so I just want to address one thing that Michael said here. He said that, and he might just be kind of goofing off here, but he said 1 million per XRP, like $1 million US per XRP. Guys, let me tell you. Okay, I know we all want to wake up one day and live in a dream where we wake up and XRP is 10 grand, but realistically, we need to have a conversation about this. Okay. The only way XRP is ever going to get to like 4 or 5 digits is if one of like 5 or 6 things has to happen. Okay. One of it is the circulating supply of XRP would need to dramatically be reduced. Like all of the XRP on exchanges would need to get bought out. We would need to kind of identify how much Ripple's holding, and you would need the circulating supply of XRP to be like below 1 billion, right? In order for you to even consider something like a 4 to 5 digit number. You would also need trillions, I mean hundreds of trillions of dollars worth of debt or value to be added to the XRP ledger, okay? Like let's say the circulating supply of XRP, just to use round numbers, is 1 billion, right? We're just using round numbers in this imaginary example, right? If you added, $1 trillion worth of value to the XRP ledger, right? And the market cap of XRP was $1 trillion, that would be $1,000 a token, or about, give or take, weird stuff that's happening in the background. Okay. You would need trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars added to the XRP ledger. And you also would need trillions and trillions of dollars being traded on the XRP ledger every day to get to these high numbers. I'm not saying that it'll never happen. I'm hoping that one day it happens, but we just need to have a realistic view, right? If you have a circulating supply of like 40 billion, right? And right now, XRP price is like 55 cents, right? Even if you brought it to even Bitcoin levels of 500 billion, let's just say, right? You're only talking about a $10 XRP. So you would need an astronomical amount of money to get the price of XRP. Now, you do have people saying great reset. You do have $307 trillion in debt globally. Now, if the XRP ledger was housed to a lot of that debt, now you're talking some pretty crazy numbers, okay? But we need to get there, and the XRP ledger would need to be chosen. And now some people say that it's already been chosen, and I have to say that by a lot of these central banks, they have chosen the winner that they do want to build on, but nothing is guaranteed, especially in this crypto space. So just take that into considerations, and we just need to have a real good conversation about it, right? We're still in a speculation market. We don't have global regulation. It's still going to take a couple years for the globe to fully adopt cryptocurrency. So, we just need to understand that's where we are. I have no idea what's going to happen with all of these banks wanting to use digital assets for settlement. We're going to have to see how this all plays out, but just let's have a realistic understanding of where we are today. Okay. All right. Huawei Mobile has signed a memorandum of understanding with Ripple user Alphardon Exchange to carry the Alpha Pay app to strengthen business ties and brand presence. Notable in that app does not include remittances. So I don't know what that does for us, but good to know. Now here's a cheerleader for Ethereum. Here is the CFTC Chairman Heath. Check this out.
Let me just basically say how impressed I am with Ethereum, full stop, period. And that when I think about this as a regulator, I think of it almost analogized to email versus the internet. If Bitcoin is email, a one-trick pony, so to speak, but obviously revolutionary, Ethereum goes far beyond that. It's more like the internet.
Okay. Man, I really hope there's an Ethereum investigation and this guy kind of eats his words. It's just kind of me seeing what Ethereum has said and done against other cryptocurrencies in the space after bribing a government official. It doesn't sit well with me. So I would just love to see this guy eat his words, but we'll see. Solana rallies 26% in a week despite FTX sales fears, right? This was October 20th. Solana jumped 11% on Friday with one of the best performing crypto assets this year, a gain of 170%. Congratulations to everyone that was in Solana. Investors worry about FTX selling. Tokens were overblown into the block, and analysts noted rising activity on the Solana network, massive influx of digital asset funds. A recent tech upgrade also likely to contribute to the rally. So awesome, good news for Ethereum. This is my Delicium nodes. People always ask me like what crypto nodes I'm running right now. Delicium is one of those projects. They do AI different bots. They are building a whole game ecosystem. I really had a really cool AMA with these guys. Something to check out if you're interested, guys. I do think Delicium is a pretty cool project to run nodes every. Let's see. I would have to sign in. No. Here, let me just show you. DMA rewards. I run 6 nodes, and so I get about 251 AGI a day. This token price is still like very cheap. I think it's like 1 cent right now. It had a high of like 20 something cents. I'm hoping that after, the game gets more popular, as they release some of these AI bots, this goes up. But this is just one of the projects that I do run nodes on. All right, spot Bitcoin ETF approvals could add 1 trillion to the crypto market cap, crypto analysts say. Bitcoin will become a $900 billion asset. A total crypto market will grow by 1 trillion. Should the Bitcoin spot ETFs traded should the spot ETFs be approved? Data analytics firm CryptoQuant wrote in a recent report. The first wave of institutional adoption was 2020 to 2021. Came from institutions adding Bitcoin to their balance sheets, while the next wave could be financial institutions providing Bitcoin access to their clients through spot ETFs. So we'll see. I would love to see this. Stock market futures are down as the 10-year Treasury yield crossed 5% for the first time since 2007, guys. Let me just play this a little bit, and I'll catch up on some comments.
Well, Joe, you mentioned the equity futures are backing off a little bit. Still an unsteady market, although trying to refocus on fundamentals away from this really reactive moves in the bond market. So far, really trapped in this range. This is the S&P 500 index fund, the SPY. The S&P itself, between 4,200, 4,400 is where we've been ping-ponging for the better part of a month. That's 420, basically just, move the decimal point for the ETF. And you see it's also trapped here between 50 and 200-day averages. So it shows you indecisive action right here. Around 4,200, just above that, was the recent low for this pullback. We know mid-October is when you often have a lot of kind of scary gut checks and then a bottom in the market. We'll see if we have the makings of that. Guys are just talking about the oil supply and demand. Take a look at the energy sector, the XLE, compared to the transports. This is on a year-to-date basis, and here they go, kind of converging there. The message is interesting because you saw for this entire period, both going up in sync. Okay, that was good demand, stronger economy, China's waking up, so those were in tune, and now they've been moving a little bit contrary, as you can see right there. Oil up, transports down, and that relationship shows you that this last little bump higher in crude prices probably not entirely fundamentally driven, as you've been saying. So it seems like a little more supply concerns. So you're losing some of that kind of backdrop of cyclical leadership from the transports at this point, although it hasn't fallen apart entirely. Volatility index yesterday closed above 20. 20 has actually not been a level we finished above for months. This is a 2-year chart, and you can see since the Silicon Valley Bank failures, we've been sort of capped around 20, and that has been a mark to actually the lows in equity indexes just about. You usually need it to kind of go up and then start to go down quick and make a spike on the chart before it's an all clear. But as you can see, last year, 20 was more like the low. I will point out last Friday there was a real bid.
All right, I don't need to get into the rest of this, but Treasury market is something that we should be keeping track of. As new lows or new highs are set. I mean, this is where a lot of money goes in bonds, right? 5% is a really nice return if you have zero risk. I wanted to talk to you about a couple projects that in Cryptonairz that we've been talking about for some time. Rallio Network is one of the projects that one of our amazing Cryptonairz team members have called out, as well as some of our amazing members. This one's sitting at about $1.3 million market cap. I'm actually going to be jumping into this very soon here, buying a little bit and holding it and seeing where it goes. I've seen a lot of people mention this on Twitter as well. I just wanted to kind of add some value here. Also, In the Cryptonairz Discord, we started talking about this project in Sensei Chat right here after it was mentioned by one of our community members. Actually, one of our team members too. It was QNT and it was Rayon. This was at 16 cents. It is done. I mean, 16 cents is probably done 7 or 8x since we got into it. Maybe just about five months ago. So not a bad return. In the last 5 months for a tour. A lot of people are saying this has a lot more to go as well. So congratulations to the people that got into this and made some money in that community. All right. Let me refresh this right here. Give me 1 second. I thought I did this before I got on here, but give me 1 second. All right. All right, so this is actually about Hedera. It says, Mr. Mann says, listen very carefully. There's an opportunity to help this digital industry grow. And that's through DeFi, global crypto standards come end of 2023. IOSCO states that DeFi will be regulated by the end of 2023. If you don't know who the IOSCO is, let me just show you this real quick. IOSCO is the International Organization of Securities Commission with the Association of Organizations that regulate the world's securities and futures markets. Members are typically primarily securities or other future regulators in the national jurisdiction or main financial regulator from each country. So I think this is 90% of the world's securities markets are a part of the IOSCO. So it is a very big deal. I just wanted to show that for you. Let me play this.
Securities exchange, like, with Artex and with Toko. But there's clearly an opportunity in DeFi, and there's an opportunity
to create liquidity, which is actually going to help this industry scale.
So if we can find a way to bring those two together, I think it's really exciting.
Work with CPMI to produce recommendations in relation to stable coins, and that came out in July 2022. And at the same time, we produced a roadmap promising to deliver global recommendations in relation to how crypto should be regulated when it comes to securities market, and we promised to deliver that by the end of 2023 in 2 sections. One to deal with crypto and crypto trading platforms, and the second to deal with DeFi. So we have just published in May.
All right, so somebody just asked a great question. They asked, would you say ISO 200 to Chris DeMeo asked, would you say ISO 20022 are not the best picks for 2025 bull run? This is a great question. So let me just lay some information out. There are only 7 or 8 ISO compliant cryptocurrencies right now. Okay. Now, if you're an institution or a bank that is considering using crypto for settlement, right, you're going to want to pick probably the most reliable, the most tested, the most secure asset. Okay. Now, if you're going to do instant settlement crypto, and we could be getting into the trillions of dollars of settlement, right? Those winners probably have already been chosen. All right. Now, there are going to be new coins that become ISO compliant. Very true. And some of those coins are probably going to get adopted over time by different institutions. But the majority of institutions and banks and SWIFT and CBDCs, they've already kind of chosen who they want to use. So I will never bet against ISO compliant tokens. Right? That's why I hold XRP. It's why I hold some XLM. It's why I hold some XDC. I think those have a really great opportunity, but I don't have a crystal ball for the future, Chris, to be honest with you. Now, are there other opportunities that are in the crypto space that could do higher returns by 2025 or into the 2025 bull market? Yes, there are. Yes, there are. Right? But if there's a caveat there, if adoption doesn't happen as fast as we wanted to, and we're still kind of in this speculation market and crypto's not being used on a massive scale for settlement, then obviously there's going to be some other cryptos that are going to outperform ISO tokens. But if institutions, banks, and other big players start using crypto, and it has to be ISO compliant, right? ISO messaging, it's built on this format. You had Ripple and Stellar that were on this board with ISO actually like writing the rules and helping with the background on this. Like that kind of speaks to me, and that's why I hold these assets. And I consider your XRPs, your XDCs, your XLMs, your HBARs, I consider some of these tokens like stocks. Stocks, like if you ever heard Warren Buffett say, if you hold the stock for 30 years, you're going to make more if you bought and sold that stock for those 30 years. Like I consider some of these cryptocurrencies to be like stocks. Like you should have a plan when you're getting into any cryptocurrency, right? I'm not a fancy financial advisor. I have no plaque, so don't consider what I'm saying as financial advice. But I always kind of come up with some type of plan. Why am I getting into this asset? What is my plan for this asset? Am I just gonna get in and out of this asset, or am I here to kind of like hold this asset? And I know it goes like against traders. Some traders like just say, oh, never hold something, get in and out of it. That's great. I am not somebody that can sit in front of a screen and pay attention to a chart all day long. I'm constantly trying to research and trying to do other stuff. Different traders have different strategies. Now, you need to figure out what is your strategy, Chris. I would have to say. I hope that gives you some kind of context or help, my dude. Thank you so much. Absolutely, man. Thank you for asking the question. And if anyone else has any questions, it's easier to tag at me so it like pops out on the screen so I can answer your questions live. I would just I'd love to do that. DeFi regulators come end of November and December 2023. What does it mean for DeFi space? We talk about this a lot. The DeFi liquidity refers to the availability of funds to trade on a DEX. Liquidity providers supply these funds to DEXs. Right? As more liquidity comes into the space, more can be done in the space, right? Liquidity is very, very important. This is kind of why we talk about, AMMs, or at least I talk about AMMs a lot on this channel. I think they could be an asset for the XRP ledger. Obviously, there are some things that need to be fixed and addressed before AMMs can come into place. Talk about updating those 206 nodes. I mean, that's kind of scary when you think about it. And I get why people haven't voted yes yet for it. Anyways, Goldman Sachs representative. Genie can't be put back in the bottle. This technology is here to stay. Let me play this.
Can I just jump in?
Yeah, please.
The more that the engagement that Aaron's mentioning between regulators, policymakers, and financial institutions, both traditional and otherwise, I think it opens up the dialogue so that you're starting to see more and more regulators understand that the genie can't be put back in the bottle. Even though some of the more critical regulators and policymakers of the ecosystem have acknowledged that it's here to stay. They've started to talk about tokenization and the idea that blockchain and DLT is going to be used in the long term. And then getting to that nuance that Aaron was mentioning allows them to start thinking through what it means in a broad ecosystem for different players, right? What it means for institutions like ours that have, robust risk management platforms, robust controls already built in for our traditional processes that all of our new activities are going through as well. And the regulators are constantly talking about how they want to have oversight on the new ecosystem and the platforms that don't necessarily have these controls.
All right. Let's keep it moving, guys. I got a little bit more to get through today, and I will let you go for the day. Let's go ahead and get through it. Excuse me. All right, so I told you this was coming last year. Universal basic income, they are testing this, I guess you'd say, in Canada. I don't think it's actually reached people's pockets yet. I think they're doing like simulations in the background, but this is going to be happening. Let me just play this for you. It's 35 seconds.
It is my privilege, honor, and responsibility to be the sponsor of Bill S-233, which we've just commenced study of in the Senate Standing Committee on Finance. The bill would introduce a framework to develop a guaranteed livable basic income. Right now is the fact that we are struggling throughout this country with homelessness, food insecurity, poverty, health, mental health issues, and this is one way that we could start to look at these issues. It's not the only way, but it's certainly a key way.
All right, understand universal basic income, guys. Not everybody will qualify for it. You're going to have to be making, I don't know what the magic number is going to be, but I mean, if you're making like $100,000 or more a year, you're never going to qualify for this. But you have to understand how much pressure does it put on any country to be giving away free money like that. I mean, look what happened with stimulus in the U.S. We printed, $7.5 trillion in a short time period, and it's led to what we're dealing with right now, right? So, if you have 1 million people making $2,000 a month or $1,000 a month, right? You're starting to get into billions and billions of extra dollars a month being given to these people. And what is that going to do for the overall health of, I mean, that's the balance that you have to look at, right? Is this going to help the nation over, is it going to hurt the nation by, all these extra money being printed, right? The U.S. is already dealing with like $3 billion or $4 billion a day in interest on the debt that they're servicing right now. I can't imagine what it would look like if millions and millions of people are getting, $1,000 or $2,000 a month in universal basic income. But this is how they pull you into a CBDC. They'll offer you free money. And I know a lot of people say they'll never take free money, but if free money's sitting there, right, you're gonna be like, hey, I'll take some of that CBDC. Forget all that stuff I said about it. I can spend it anywhere I want. I'll take some of that CBDC money. All right. I don't know why I have this in here. Today we're excited to announce Blobstream X, our ZK Lite client-based implementation of Blobstream, which streams Celestia Org's high-throughput viability DA layer to roll-up settlement on Ethereum. I think it's a new roll-up on Ethereum. I think this is why I put this in here. Anyways, do some research on this. If this is kind of what you're looking into, I can't remember exactly why I put this in here. I do apologize. Philippines-based exchange Coins.ph appears to have lost $12.2 million XRP in possible exploit. Man, it pays to be a hacker or a scammer in 2023. Obviously, if you live in a country that doesn't have extradition, more power to you. Keep scamming. Ethereum co-founder Joseph Lubin faces lawsuit over consensus stock value. This is what we were talking about earlier. Not a good guy. Not a good guy. A lot of Cryptonairz, a lot of XRP community are kind of cheering. XRP kind of hit 55 cents. We're hoping that we can blast past 90 cents sooner or later here. I do think once the case is actually behind us and we do have a real settlement on the table and that's done, I think you are going to see a lot of people happy, right? Maybe Ripple throw another party for this and actually make an IPO announcement. I did buy some Ripple stock over the last couple, maybe like last month. And so I would love an IPO. I would love to see it. So we'll see how that takes place. I thought this was fun. Just in Argentina, Egypt, Laos, and Lebanon setting all new time highs in countries around the world. Bitcoin. I don't know if this is a great thing because their currency is kind of going down against Bitcoin as Bitcoin's going up. But man, one Bitcoin is a lot of money. And I guess is this I don't know if this is Laos or Lebanon. I think this is Laos, but wow. A lot man, can you imagine just like you're working for 30 years to just be able to buy one Bitcoin? Man, that would suck. All right. Bitcoin ETF funds receive a remarkable 43 trillion inflows today, equivalent to 10% of the whole year to date. As you can see, it does feel like there's some excitement in the air. So here's kind of ETF fund flow. You can see shares Bitcoin ETP, Galaxy Bitcoin at the top here, Purpose Bitcoin ETF, and just all the different names of the people waiting, or the companies, the institutions waiting for these ETFs to kind of come into play. DTCC, just kind of remembering DTCC. Donald Donahue used to be the CEO of the DTCC for like a very long time. He worked at the DTCC for 26.2 years, if my memory serves me correctly. I think he was a CEO for like 7, but Donald Donahue left the DTCC and went to be an advisor at Ripple. I don't know if that helped Ripple kind of get in the door to the DTCC, but you know, I made a great video about all of these connections. It's in my video history. If you just look up DTCC Crypto Sensei, it should come up, and you can take a look at that. I would love for you to watch that. All right. Couple more things and we are done. Seeding the ETF begins this month, meaning this week. The fund must be funded by day 1, which means BlackRock must acquire enough Bitcoin for the initial launch. So now understand this: BlackRock can only look at how many searches and how much excitement is kind of going on with maybe customers reaching out wanting to get Bitcoin. It doesn't mean that these people were going to buy Bitcoin on the day 1 or day 2 or day 10. We really don't know what the full demand will be. We hope it's freaking amazing. I mean, we're sitting here just like, man, I hope this is crazy, brings in trillions of dollars, but we just need to have a realistic moment with ourselves to understand that we don't know specifically how this is going to turn out. Now, if anybody has a crystal ball or has been to the future, please DM me. I would love to know what's about to happen. I really appreciate you. I promise not to share it with anybody. Fingers crossed. All right. Bitcoin jumps nearly 15% today. BlackRock preparing for the Bitcoin launch, right? This is kind of what we were just talking about. Data on the Depository Trust Clearing Corporation's website is being used as evidence that BlackRock is preparing. I've seen a clip today that talked about the DTCC has not delisted, but taken that off a place where people can see that now. So I don't. It's hard to say what's going on here, but it does feel like either this is BlackRock saying, hey, we'll see. Now all of these funds need to get funded, right? All these funds need to get funded. You know, all of these ETFs, the provider, BlackRock, Invesco, whatever, Bank of America, Grayscale has a lot already, but you get what I'm saying. They actually have to buy this Bitcoin so they can sell it through their ETF to their customers. So I think this is one of them, or it could be BlackRock getting ready and saying, hey, we're not going to wait for the rest of the market to buy in. We want to kind of get in while we can. We don't know if Bitcoin's going to come back down. We don't know what's going to happen. Okay. But you know, if this is just one of these ETFs buying Bitcoin, getting ready for this fund, imagine what it's like when you have 9 of these guys or 10 of these guys now buying Bitcoin for the fund. I mean, it's kind of exciting. It's kind of exciting. All right. I think I have two more things before we kind of get you out of here. Crypto wallet maker Ledger officially rolls out recovery, unleashing a fresh round of snark. Snark's good work. Wallet maker Ledger's recovery option is now live, promoting a fresh swath of criticism from some unimpressed crypto users. When the services was first discussed publicly several months ago, some people said that the product undermines Ledger's stated commitment to privacy and security. Recovery, which provides a backup for users' recovery seed phrase, is now available on Ledger's most popular wallet, NanoX. CEO Pasquale Gother wrote in a post on X on Tuesday, seed phrases are a random string of 12 to 24 numbers that a user must remember should he or she need to regain access to a crypto wallet, meaning the digital assets therein would be unrecoverable should the user forget those words, right? So why is Ledger doing this? Well, I know a lot of you listening are pretty crypto savvy people, but it took a lot to get you to a crypto savvy position. There's going to be a lot of new people that are going to come into the space that go out and buy their ledgers on Amazon, which you should never do, because unless you're buying it, I think it's like from like Satoshi something, if you buy anything on Amazon, it could come from a different manufacturer. It could come from somebody that's scamming, that just opens the box, starts up that ledger, creates the wallet, puts it back in the box, and sends it on out to you. So always buy your ledger or your treasure or whatever it is from that website. That is like a hard piece of information you should take as like the word of God, because if you buy it from like a third-party vendor, you never know what you're going to get, and you just got to be careful. But the reason they're doing this is because there's going to be a lot of new people that are coming into the space that are not going to write their seed phrases down, or they're going to misplace them, or they're just not understanding that a seed phrase is your keys, backup keys to that wallet. Okay, so that's why Ledger's doing this. anyways, let's keep it going. I think there's one more thing. Oh, it was the Vitalik thing. All right. I didn't want to keep you guys here too long. It's been an hour and 14 minutes. I want to answer any questions that anybody has before I kind of get out of here today. Let me just kind of catch up on this. If Onyx is on Corium, Corium is on the XRP Ledger, then JP Morgan is XRP. Guys, I think you know, if every bank just builds their own blockchain, you're just going to have another silo situation, right? Where, you know, nothing interacts with anything else. You have to have all of this stuff interoperable. And I think even, you know, if you know, all of these banks create their own backends and build their own blockchains, that's expensive. It's really expensive. You have to hire a team. You have to have a team that's just constantly monitoring all that. Think about regional and smaller banks, right? You know, city banks that, not Citibank, but banks that have, you know, smaller cities that have like local mom and pop banks that, you know, loan to businesses and those type of banks. They're not going to be able to have a whole internet IT people. They're not going to have a huge thing to build out all this infrastructure. So they're going to go to already established blockchains and try to use like Ripple's technology or Stellar's technology, right? That they've already built this all out for banks. So that's really kind of what we understand, that this is all needs to connect and be interoperable, and you're never going to have one bank reign supreme over this. I think you're going to have, you know, your XRPs, your Stellars, your XDCs, your HBARs, your Algorands, you know, those are all going to get some type of market share in all of this, right? And there's going to be new blockchains that come along that are going to gain market share over time, but really like those are really the most important ones, right? You have like Polygon, you have Solana, you have Link, right? Chainlink is important because it provides Oracle services, right? Price data that you need to make all of this work behind the scenes. So all of this needs to work together to kind of fuel this whole ecosystem that has been built out. All right. Yeah, great advice buying ledgers in the right place. I've seen people that have bought ledgers off Amazon that have gotten scammed. Like I get DMs all the time from people, and you know, they tell me what happened to them, and it's a lot of it's sad. It's very sad. But you just go to like Ledger's website, like here, just Ledger, hardware wallet Ledger. I mean, check us out. Watch this. Amazon. Check us out. Amazon.com. Oh man, Amazon. I've stopped buying like stuff on Amazon as far as you know, devices, right? So you have all of these sponsors. You see all these sponsored small business. Not all of these are from Ledger themselves, right? Let's just say this is a sponsored bundle. Additional detail: small business product is from a small business brand, right? You don't want to buy this, guys. This is not something that you want to buy. You always need to figure out where it's actually coming from. I think this is just a case. I do apologize, but right, you want to understand where it's coming from, what company it's coming from, but a lot of this is kind of repackaged on here and selling for a profit, or it's a scammer trying to sell. So never buy it from here. Always go to their real website, ledger.com, and buy a Ledger off their site, because if you do it here, I don't know what's going to happen to you. Sharon comes from France. Is Sharon? I don't know if Sharon lives in France, but Sharon has a beautiful name. Your Ledger should come from France, I think. Otherwise, beware. Is it France? I mean, it sounds like the guy who's the CEO lives in France, but I don't know if that's where they're produced or made. I don't know. Oh, right here. Chiron is the man. Chiron knows so much. I just want a big shout out to all the Cryptonairz members. I know you guys come in here and we share the news, and we do this twice a week, and you know, it's amazing to be able to grow and to learn with you guys every day. Everybody's sharing information. We got a great team. We got great members. I'm just thankful to be you know, in this whole thing with you guys. And if you guys want to join our community, please take a look at our website, Cryptonairz.com. We would love to have some more Discord members. Please take a look at our website. Everything that we offer is here: crypto trades, crypto trading bot. We have a partnership with Astrobit. Technical analysis from Carolina Keith. He's always in the Discord providing great TA. He's actually teaching a lot of members. A member reached out to me yesterday talking about how much she's learned and how like she's doing these 15-minute trades. And like just a year ago, she was brand new to crypto, and now she's kind of has more knowledge about TA than I do. So it's incredible to see. Big shout out to you. You know who you are. Crypto market TA updates, crypto weekly AMAs, NFT analysis. We have a great team. We provide a lot of information. So big shout out to all of the members. Yes, it is. All right. So if there's not any more questions, MMT says UBI 15-minute cities crypto ATMs, all pilots have been run in the UK, let alone real-time gross settlement system and export of settlement pilots. We have regulations and we have retail doors being closed. Man, it is crazy, right? On one hand, it does feel like, and guys, remember there is a Telegram where I answer questions behind the scenes. If you have anything, this is a free Telegram where it's on a paid service. So if you want to join that, please do. But it does feel like Squirrel. What movie is that from, man? My mom always says that randomly, and she starts laughing. But MMT, it does feel like in the UK, it is kind of confusing, right? You have the markets and infrastructure bill that was passed. But you do have like banks like Chase that are trying to close the door for crypto on and off ramp. So it's very confusing what's happening in that particular country. It is very confusing, man. I hope they figure it out. It does feel like governments, slow roll until they actually want to get stuff done and send money themselves with digital assets and CBDCs. But once that happens, guys, it'll be a floodgate. It'll be a floodgate. We just got to get there. Dog from Up. There you go. We joke about that a lot. Great movie. I love it, guys. All right. Well, hey, I will let you go for the day. Thank you for being a part of this hour and a bit and catching up on crypto news. It's just been an honor to share knowledge with you and grow with you every day. If I can help you in any way, shape, or form, please reach out to me. You can always send me a DM on Twitter. You can reach out to me on Discord. Make sure you're talking to the real me. I'm never going to DM you and ask you for money. I'm never going to DM you and ask you to participate in a weird exchange or whatever. If I'm ever talking about an exchange or a partnership, I will be in front of you on video talking about it. I will never DM you and say, hey, send money here. Never going to happen for me. Okay. So just understand that. BlackRock iShares ETF has been relisted on DTCC. Rock and roll. Great to see that, man. MMT, man. I love you. Great work. That's good to know. It does feel like the DTCC is getting zesty for securities settlement, isn't it? I mean, it feels like November 19th is the day they're updating. So what does that mean for the DTCC? Are they going to just go full blast with ISO messaging formats, with digital token identifier? What does that look like in November? Does that look like a good Christmas for all of us? I really hope so. I don't want to get my hopes up. And dates have come and gone before, and I've just been let down. But man, I would love to just be popping champagne, Dom Perignon for Christmas this year and for Thanksgiving. I really would love to do that. I think if things started really taking off, we could have a champagne party and everybody would be invited. That'd be a lot of fun. I think they are channeling retail into just a few regulated exchanges. Yeah, the MMT. Well, that's what banks want to do, right? Banks want to make money, right? And we were talking about this, I think last week, MMT, about Bank of America. On one hand, they're out here talking about all these new accounts they're opening, all these new credit cards they're opening, and in the background, they have 131 billion in unrealized losses, right? So they're always, I think banks are looking for new ways to make money. And I think they're looking at Coinbase making what? Well, the Coinbase 2023 really hasn't come out yet with how much money they've made, but I've seen some estimates talking about maybe $2.5 to $3 billion. Banks are looking at that and saying, I want to get a piece of that, right? And we know that if people that are not in crypto, that are not out here learning every day, that are not growing their knowledge, they're more inclined to buy crypto from their bank if they offer it, right? Because let's be honest, how much time and energy and frustration have you put into learning crypto? It is not easy. I was learning crypto 2020, 2021, 2022, I learned hard lessons, right? I've lost money on scams and this and that. It's taken a lot of energy to get to a place where I feel very confident in my knowledge in the crypto space. And I'm sure it's taken you a lot of time and energy, and you have to want to put the time and the energy in, right? And for the average person, they're not looking at YouTube. They're not looking at crypto content. They're looking at, like, you know, what celebrity is making out with another celebrity. And like, they're looking at just dumb stuff. Let's be honest with you. I mean, like, I used to waste my time on dumb stuff, but I don't do that anymore. And until you change your mindset, and until you really get into a position where you actually put time into this, you're never going to be able to grow like you're kind of growing right now. If you're listening to this, you're still here, which means you're still interested in the conversation, which means you're still interested in growing. So, I mean, long story short, banks are here to make money. They know that if they offer crypto custody, right? That's custody too, right? Because they want to custody your seed phrase. They want to custody your crypto assets, just like they quote unquote custody your dollars. They're going to want to hold that, and they're going to want to sell you crypto. And once we get there, you're going to see every bank, or every bank that wants to stay a bank, they're going to be getting into crypto in some way, shape, or form. All the big ones are, the smaller ones are catching up, and it's going to be exciting times. We speak Urdu or English. Okay, cool. Big C is the biggest distraction or disruption in the financial markets. Stay off Bitcoin. Hey man, Bitcoin is not for everybody. I personally, I don't own any Bitcoin. I do think Bitcoin's going to have an incredible 2024, 2025. I think it's going to go up. It's just like, I have to spend 30 grand on one token. I'm praying that it would go like 5 or 10x, right? I mean, that would be like a $300,000 Bitcoin to 10x. I just think there's other assets that are in this market that maybe have Bitcoin has already, it's already $500-600 billion. There's a lot of other assets that are not even at $10 million or $5 million that could have, bigger opportunities. There's like A0, right? I really like, let me just pull this up. Let me pull this up real quick. You can see all the tabs I have open here. Like, this is like everything. I'm just constantly trying to add more value to people. All right, so A0, right? We talked about this a long time ago in Cryptonairz. God, what did we talk about it? It was like, where was this? Like back in here, like in this dip area. This has gone up and come back down to 80 cents. Remember, we talked about running a node here. You need 25,000 of these tokens. I don't know if it's changed since then, but this is also a really great, this is multiple different solutions. They have a layer 0 solution. I do think A0 is going to be really good. Let me see here. There's a lot of really amazing projects that you could be looking at. Anyone, what do you guys feel about Cardano? What do you feel about Cardano? Thank you, Kathleen. I see your comments all the time, Kathleen. You're one of my favorite people. Thank you so much for all the time that you spend on my channel. Love you. Thank you so much. JL, join me, please. Background is good. But what do you guys feel about Cardano? I don't know, man. It feels like, I mean, up 13% in the last 7 days. But look at these market caps, 9 billion, 10 billion almost, right? Dogecoin, 10 billion, right? It's amazing that you have Cardano sitting next to Dogecoin. Man, I think it's kind of funny. A lot of people think, Elon Musk is going to pick Doge for the payments. I mean, come on. Oh, man. He's just trolling you guys. He's trolling you hard. Link is an incredible ecosystem. I think Link is going to have a huge Polkadot. Polkadot is another great project, right? It'd be good to see Avalanche coming back, right? Remember when Avalanche was like $60-70? That was really awesome. Stellar. All right, here's your privacy coin Monero. Cosmos, great ecosystem. There's just a lot of really good technology out here that's just waiting for a lot of money to come in, right? Optimism. Quant, right? Quant, lower supply than Bitcoin, right? Total supply lower than Bitcoin. I mean, if you think Bitcoin can go, 60, 100 grand, why couldn't Quant with a lower supply with all the use case? I think Quant is going to be a monster. INJ, I was seeing something recently, like, I think I shared this in the Cryptonairz Discord, that 400 million tokens were being staked, which is like half the supply. That's why you're seeing such a huge jump in the price here. Of course, Algorand, Immutable X, Render, right? It was rumored that like Render was going to be working with Apple, right, on some of the like the glasses and creating applications. Of course, XDC here, right? A lot of people talk about XDC. Right? Imagine you knew what XCC was like right here. Imagine how much XCC you could own right now if you knew exactly what was going to happen, man. It's crazy stuff. But circulating supply, 13 billion, right? $680 million market cap. XTC has a long way to go. I mean, look at this in the last when really nothing was here, right? When really nothing was quite built out yet on the XTC platform, 2021, right? 17 cents. Why couldn't it blast past this? It's definitely going to, in my opinion. Theta's had some updates. Phantom, not much is happening on Phantom, right? The last couple months, I haven't really kept track of it too much, but Phantom had a lot of stuff being built on it in the last bull run, and then a lot of interest left that ecosystem. Man, ApeCoin. I remember when this kind of debuted. Casper, I do think Casper has a bright future, sitting at $391 million market cap. Gala, I really hope Gala gets to back to all-time highs. I would love to see Gala at 75 cents again. Man, I run 8 Gala nodes. I was buying Gala nodes when they were $3,000, and I have 8 Gala nodes, and I run them every day. I make about 100 and something thousand Gala a month now with their adjusted platform. Man, I would be over the moon with just a 25-cent Gala. I would be a happy freaking camper. When it comes to node projects, I got Gala, Delicium, Storage Chain, which is a new one that we were talking about in the Cryptonairz Discord. I think this could be a really great project. Oh, it's not even on CoinMarketCap, is it? Crap. Oh no, it's Store. Is it Wrap Store? Hold on. They got to apply for it. What's it called? So this is the project I'm talking about. I think this project could be really great. I mean, you have basically fully diluted market cap 221,000, right? Storage Chain is basically like Filecoin, but all of the latest technology went into building this. So I'm bullish on this project. I mean, look at this. Filecoin is sitting at $1.7 billion market cap, right? Just a taste, guys. Just a taste. I'm running some nodes here. We talked about this in the Cryptonairz Discord. This is one of the projects that went up like 120%, came back down. Obviously, they are just about to release. They just did some beta. They're about to release their full-fledged project. I'm actually working in the background with another company that I'm bullish on. I can't really talk too much about it publicly yet, but I'm hoping that these two companies can work together and use each other's ecosystems to kind of build out each other's ecosystems. Is what I'm hoping for. Right now, you can run nodes, earn about 20% back a month. So I just recently invested about $18,000 of my own money, putting into nodes. I am, So if you like decentralized storage projects, this is one that hasn't even broken $500,000 market cap. There's 2 tokens. There's Wrap Store. You need to buy Wrap Store, convert it to Store. You use that to collateralize your loan. But I'm really excited about this project for the future. I think these guys can do pretty well. But I'm running a Delicium nodes, which I talked to you about already. People always ask me what kind of nodes I'm running. I'm running MetaPro nodes too. Those nodes haven't started paying out yet. They have to sell another maybe like 250 or 300 nodes before those start going and paying out. I'm hoping good things from MetaPro. They have a lot of games that are going to be releasing over the next couple of years. I think nodes are a great opportunity to make passive income. Obviously, when the market's green, there's a lot more passive income when the market's red. All right. Well, I've rambled on enough, guys. I've rambled on enough. man, just give me 1% of Filecoin's market cap on store, and I'll just be doing dances for you over here, freaky dances. Okay, watch full video, dear. Go come and look in the stream. My YouTube channel. You can share your channel if you like. You have to put a space in it though if you want. I asked about off ramps. Digibyte Ledger. Nothing time to unsubscribe. Nothing time to unsubscribe. Have fun. Okay. Europe is good. Speak Udi. All right. Let me see here. I kind of got on a tangent there about talking about projects. Let me just catch up on this. You guys are talking about favorite tokens. Please join me. All right. Rabia is trying to get some people over to his channel. All good, man. This is your platform that you want to ask people. No worries. Mark has big. Cardano delivered yet? It's kind of hard to say, man. Cardano, I think you have more conversations about Charles. Man, he likes to kind of just poke at the XRP community. It's never good to piss off that many people. I just think that if he didn't do that, maybe Cardano would be a little bit further down the line. But hey, who knows? I could be totally wrong. I bought some quant last week at 86. Great job, LAX. All right, guys. Is running a Gala node difficult? No, it's actually pretty easy, man. But right now they're like 96 grand or something like that. They're a grip, man. They're too expensive now. I wouldn't recommend buying a node right now. Just way too expensive for what you get. It is way too expensive. Let me see. I think I actually have to sign in to actually get into my account. But last time I looked, they were like $96,000, man. I just think they're out of reach for a lot of people now. Back in the day, great opportunity. I mean, like if you're buying Gala back here, Gala nodes back in here, I mean, great opportunity. These were like, it was like $3 grand. I mean, they started at $500. Also running, what else are we running? I can't even remember that project. Anyways, but right now I wouldn't recommend it, right? Because one node, you're probably only making, not a lot, man. Maybe 150 Gala a day. Maybe 200 Gala a day right now. And at this price point, I mean, unless you truly believe in Gala's long-term future, it would be a very, very scary investment for me to make right now. I don't think I would do it, to be honest with you. Cardano is run by too much ego in MC. Yeah, a lot of ego in Cardano, for sure. Playable, yes, playable. Thank you, Sharon. That's what I was looking for. Playable games. Playable needs to figure out how to get... No, that's not it. Playable needs to figure... Oh, it's 3ULL. I always get that wrong. Playable needs to figure out how to get their token into their ecosystem. Like, that has been their problem. That has been their hardest problem. They release games, and they want to sell NFTs. You have to buy the token to buy NFTs that are skins. Like, cool. I mean, we got to think of other ways to find a use case for the token that is inside of the ecosystem. Now, like, if people could spend money like US dollars on skins and that would be converted into playable and then burned or something like that, that is a pretty unique way of taking tokens out of the ecosystem. Okay. But you have the team that is running nodes, you have the team that is taking profits. So like, it's a very, I think they're making a lot of really interesting stuff behind the scenes. It'll be interesting to see how they get the nodes and the token involved inside of the games on a much larger scale. That's what they need to figure out to really start scaling this. Now, if you got into nodes when they were $400 to $500, when we talked about in Cryptonairz last year, you've already made your money back. Awesome. Rock and roll. But these guys need to work on this, right? I mean, yeah. They must have only been listed on here. We were buying nodes last year, so they I guess just recently put themselves on CoinMarketCap this year. But I mean, you're buying nodes. I mean, imagine selling into this peak. You made some pretty good money. I think I bought 20 nodes. It was like, what was it, like $400 a node is like $8 grand. $450 a node is like $8 or $9 grand, and I cashed out maybe like 12 or 15. So, you know, I'm already plus on this, and I make about a million playable a month. So, you know, just something, food for thought. All right, guys. Man, I've rambled on now. So I will wish you guys all a great day. Thank you for spending this time with me. It's always an honor and a privilege. I will see you next time. All right, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, Luna, we're done.